Hello everyone. So in today's session, we are going to talk about what is server-side rendering in React.js, and we are going to cover the advantages and disadvantages of server-side rendering in React.js. So this is another popular interview question which is asked in front-end engineering interview rounds. So we are going to cover that in today's session. So with that in mind, let's start off with the session for the day. So let's try to understand what is server-side rendering first. So server-side rendering is the process of rendering a web page on server side and then sending the fully rendered HTML, that is the entire HTML is rendered using JavaScript on server side itself and then sent to the client browser to be shown to the end user. And this is in contrast to client side rendering where HTML is generated by JavaScript, which is running in the browser. So in this case, the JavaScript is downloaded by the browser, then the HTML is generated and then shown to the end user. So that is the brief difference between server side rendering and client side rendering. With that in mind, let's cover some advantages of server side rendering. The first advantage of server-side rendering is faster initial load time. The reason for this is because the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is used to show the website to the end user, can be preloaded on the server and then sent to the client side. This can lead to faster initial load time even on slower networks, and this can actually improve the user interaction, or the bounce rate can be reduced, and due to which the performance of the website can be improved greatly. The second most important advantage of server-side rendering is improved SEO. So the reason for this is because in server-side rendering, the pages are generated statically. This can lead to better crawling of the website by web crawlers, and also the metadata generated for the website can be better rendered or can be better shown to the web crawlers, which can lead to better search ranking and better ranking of your website on the search engine page results. The next advantage of server-side rendering is better accessibility. The reason for this is because server-side rendered pages can be used to run on browsers where JavaScript is not enabled, or even where screen readers are used by people. So this can lead to better accessibility. Another advantage of server-side rendering is input performance. The reason for this is because the JavaScript is passed and executed on the server side itself, and this can lead to improved page load performance and reduce the page loading time, which can actually improve the performance of the website. And that's the overall advantage of server-side rendering in React.js. Now let's cover some disadvantages as well. So the first disadvantage of server-side rendering is increased server load. The reason for this is because for every request or every request of the page, we need to send a request to the server where the page is passed, then JavaScript is executed, and the rendered page is sent back to the end client. So this can lead to increased server load for high traffic website especially, and this can lead to greater utilization of server configuration or server usage, and that can lead to increased load on the server as well for high traffic websites. Another disadvantage of server-side rendering is more complex setup. The reason for this is because for server-side rendering, there is additional configuration and infrastructure required, and that can lead to a complicated setup for setting up server-side rendered pages for a particular website. Another disadvantage of server-side rendering is delayed interactivity. The reason for this is because, let's just say if there is some interaction which needs to happen, then for that, the JavaScript needs to be downloaded on client side later and then passed and then executed. So this can lead to delayed interactivity and delayed user interaction for especially complex applications. Because for complex applications, since the page is statically rendered, it will take some time for JavaScript to be downloaded for making the page interactive, and then passing execution can take additional time. So this can lead to delayed interactivity in case of server-side rendered pages. Another disadvantage of server-side rendering is increased bandwidth. The reason for this is because all the requests from the client side are sent to the server for fetching the pages. This can lead to increase in the number of requests which are sent from client side to the server side. And this can lead to high bandwidth usage, and this can be a problem for users who have, let's just say, or they are on limited network plans, or they are on slower speed. Then the increased bandwidth usage can be an issue for such users. So that's another disadvantage of server-side rendering. So as we covered, the advantages of server-side rendering are faster initial load time, improved SEO, better accessibility, and improved performance. And the disadvantages for server-side rendering are increased server load, more complex setup, delayed interactivity, and increased bandwidth usage. So depending on the use case of a project and depending on the requirements which are there for the project, we can use server-side rendering or not use server-side rendering. It depends on project to project basis, and it depends on the requirements of the clients or the people who are going to use the website as well. So that's the overall advantage and disadvantage of server-side rendering in React.js. That's it from my end for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.